And a warm welcome to Mary O'Donnell. How are you?
I am very well, and yourself?
Not too bad at all, and it's lovely to see you as always, laden down with products as always, which no doubt we'll come to speaking about in the next half hour or so. Mary, first of all, you heard us talking about the overpowering perfume. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, well, a very large organisation a couple of years ago got me in for something very similar, except it wasn't a nice smell, it was the opposite.
Okay.
And nobody wanted to tell this person that they found it really difficult to work with them. And so the kind of the higher powers decided it would be easier if somebody came in and gave a talk about personal hygiene, which I thought was mad. And this went on for 4 different nights.
Good Lord. So you were brought in to talk about deodorant and soap and shower gel.
Wash.
Yeah, wash.
Yeah. But you see, it's like the two sides. I mean, if you're in a small office and somebody has a very overpowering perfume, it can actually be quite sickly.
Yeah, it is. And there are some perfumes that would actually make you feel nauseous.
And I suppose then I kind of feel a little bit responsible as well, because I'm always saying, get the deodorant, get your body lotion, get the fragrance, get them all matching because they last longer. So if somebody was doing that smell would last you a good 7.5 hours to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, without lingering.
It's all your fault.
It's all my fault, yeah.
Someone was on and said as well, I've heard Mary say that the way to use perfume is to spray it in front of you and then walk through it. Is that correct?
That is correct. You spritz it and you just walk through it. Mm-hmm. And it actually goes evenly and it even gets a little bit in your hair, and so like your hair can smell nice as well.
Absolutely. There was a couple of very overpowering perfumes back in the day. I remember there was one, it was a Dior Poison.
Poison. That came to my mind as well. Yeah.
And my God, I thought it smelt like poison.
Yeah, it was very, very strong. And it was, see, some fragrances are supposed to be for nighttime only. So if it is kind of like out, and even say with aftershaves, like exactly what you said, some aftershaves, if you smell them during the day, are a bit, whoa, that's very strong. So it needs to be a little bit subtle. But if you do spray it and walk into it, it is more subtle because it's not getting, on the pulse points really strong.
Should we have a day perfume and a night perfume?
Yeah, I think so. And I think like you were saying, the night light perfumes can be lovely by daytime. And it's actually lovely to smell past somebody and say, oh God, they smell lovely. But then if it's too strong, it's like, whoa. But I think there are some of the stronger ones that should definitely be for only going out.
And why is it that some perfumes, I mean, that person who contacted us, she said that even when this woman is gone, that the rest of them can still smell it on their own clothes. How can perfume linger like that?
Yeah, but even if they take into account somebody smoking somewhere, like you can be out and your coat smells of cigarettes or, and everything. So, and you might be anywhere near smoking yourself, but just in that room, and it just clings to the fibres as well. But if it is very strong, it can just be up your nose, I think, really. You can just get that smell and it can be, way too much, yeah.
Well, for me, I'd say Poison. And again, Chanel No. 5 can never get the attraction there as well. I wouldn't like the smell of that too.
I actually like it on other people.
Yeah, but
not
on
me,
yourself.
It's absolutely disgusting. Do you know? I mean, it's a really bad. Like, I mean, you nearly need to shower after it. It just doesn't, absolutely nothing for me. And I've actually admired it on other people. And so, God, that's lovely, and put it on me and it's a completely different scent.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it, how it reacts to our own bodies. Mary, we've lots of questions for you this month. They're actually, the listeners are primed and ready to ask you questions because we got a good few in advance. We'll start with this one from Kate. And she says, will you ask Mary O'Donnell, my nails are ruined after my last shellac application. They are very brittle and weak. What can I do to get them strong again? Is there any product Mary would recommend?
Yeah, I see so many people would say this. I mean, the more natural we are with everything is probably the best way to be. But we don't live in that world at all where, everything now is like fake tan, fake eyelashes and fake false nails. And the nail business, like we've talked about this before, like in Tralee or in Kerry even, you can't get nail appointment in December. You do have to book your nail appointments for shellac and anything like that well in advance. But when you have them done repeatedly, I'm always saying to people, I get it, you have an occasion coming up, you want your lashes, you want your nails done, but try to give the nails a break in between to let your own natural nail grow. So the only thing that I get, the old remedies of keeping them really, really short will strengthen them. It's like cutting your hair and, getting the strength back into your hair. The same with your nails, keeping them really short for a long time so that they have a chance. And to keep them a little bit square so that it's when the edges catching things as well, if they're a little bit more pointy, then they tend to break a bit more. And the best thing is actually massaging them at night time with a little bit of almond oil, even just around the cuticles. Keep the cuticles, because if the cuticles dry out, especially this time of year, and if you're being putting on fires and you're out in the cold walk, and all there gets is, like wearing gloves, going out for a walk, and in the evening time putting on the almond oil and spending a bit of time massaging around the cuticle, a good hand cream and into the cotton gloves, and do that for a good 3 weeks, and they'll come back. They will come back. Nails can be quite strong.
To be fair, a lot of the good salons will tell you, if you're constantly going in, reapplying your shellac every 2 weeks, they will tell you to stop. I presume there will probably be the less scrupulous salons who will be happy to continue giving you shellac nails.
Yeah.
But, what would you recommend? I mean, give yourself a break after each application. Once you get them off, give yourself maybe a break of a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so like I would say now, like people will get them done for Christmas. It's kind of a given. And so everyone will have them done for Christmas. And then January, February, March, there's probably not anything happening, the whole pile happening. So try to maybe take a break there, and then the nail people will kill me. And then after that, kind of like when we come back into the summer season where we'll have weddings and different occasions again, then you could kind of think about it again, and then maybe take a break before Christmas and then have it again. So like find your times a year where you have a lot going on that you do want to be ready to go for, have everything on.
They were only ever intended for
occasion wear.
Occasions.
Yeah.
But they're like Christmas, a wedding, a birthday party, your 2-week holidays in the sun.
Absolutely.
But I think there's a generation of young women who just they just keep reapplying shellac nails.
And the same with eyelashes.
Really?
Yeah, so the eyelashes never get a break, and they're wondering why have they got so weak afterwards. They do need a little bit of time to get back to themselves for a while, and it's quite addictive if you are used to having, especially if you're dealing with the public, and your people are looking at your hands and your face all the time. You do want to have your eyes nice and your nails nice, but it is about giving them that tiny break in between, and they will come back.
I presume a good old-fashioned French polish isn't as bad for your nails.
Oh no, absolutely not. And even there's fabulous nail colours out there. Like you can't get, there's every colour under the sun is there now. And a good nail hardener as well. Like Sally Hansen have a huge range of nail hardeners that are really good for just strengthening up the nails. But trying to put it on the free edge as well. So that little part underneath the nail, which is your free edge, if you can put your nail hardener underneath that part of the nail, that will strengthen it as well, because that's the part that's going to hit off everything. And if you're doing any kind of housework, always put on the gloves as well. It's all about protecting the hands.
Now, moving on from the subject of nails, Joan is in Listowel. She says, I have a question for Mary about lip liner. I wear pink and sometimes red lipsticks, but I'm never sure whether the liner is supposed to be a darker or a lighter shade than the lipstick.
Right. I would. One of the things I would have found is that I think as you get older, the lipstick tends to bleed into the little fine lines around your mouth area. So a liner is a great thing to do, and like that, a lot of people now would only wear it for that, like special occasions. But as you get older, I'm finding I'm using lip liner more now than I ever have done before, because I can notice it going into these lovely fine lines over my mouth.
We all have them, Mary.
Yeah, right. Admitting it. So what I try to do is I try to go a little darker, because I've also found my lips are disappearing as well. So I try to go a little darker and then lighter with the lipstick. Not like drastically different. You kind of want to aim for around the same shade, but just a little bit, so that it's actually giving you a little bit of a false lip where your lip might be going.
So darker?
Yeah, slightly darker on it, just to kind of, so that you'll see the outline of your lip, and then just a shade lighter with your lipstick.
So your lips are getting thinner as you get older.
Exactly. So you want to kind of, so that definition where you had that lovely Cupid's bow and that lovely lip line before, that tends to disappear. So especially during the day, if your lipstick, tends to go, you want it still to be, that area to be defined. So if the lip liner is defined, you'll nearly get away with the lipstick being missing a bit.
Okay, gotcha. Very good. Good advice there. Now a text in from a listener says, I read somewhere, oh, this is controversial. I read somewhere that you should never wear eyeliner once you're over 40, that it ages you. What does Mary think?
Okay.
And Mary and I are both wearing eyeliner.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Anyway.
Right, so I read recently about over 40, you should never wear black eyeliner, right, because it's too aging, and that you should always go brown. But it really depends on your colouring, because if brown eyeliner might not suit you. So if you are now, I think you can go crazy with the eyeliner, and it can be. I can see where you're coming from. That too much eyeliner can be quite aging, but a little piece can be very defining on your eyes as well. So I am all for eyeliner, but done in a nice way, not too much.
Yeah,
in a subtle way. Yeah,
subtle eyeliner.
Yeah, subtle eyeliner. Yeah.
Carol was in touch. I'm very jealous because she's going on a flight to Boston next month and is wondering what skincare should I use pre-flight, during flight and after flight.
Okay, right. So the big thing about the flight is you're going to be your skin is going to be dehydrated. So I would avoid and this is the big thing people do is put on makeup because you're going off on your holidays and you're all excited and you put on the makeup as normal, but the skin will become very dehydrated on the flight. So I would spend the time on the flight putting nice serum on my skin. So beforehand I would stop the makeup and do my normal cleanse, tone and moisturise and have your serums ready on the flight, and every so many, because it's going to be a long flight, every so many hours just do a nice dab with your serum and even pat it onto the skin and just keep hydrating the skin. So when you get there, then you can pop on your makeup like a mad person once you get there, but your skin will be lovely and dewy when you get there and it won't be dehydrated.
Okay, that's great advice. And of course, a lot of people, on a long haul flight, they'd probably have a few drinks, but that's probably the worst thing you can do because it dehydrates the skin as well. Now, we've a question about facials, and this is not surprising. A Tralee listener says, I can't afford facials at the moment. Is there anything I could do myself at home that might do a similar job to a salon facial or close enough?
Yeah, isn't it? And I can remember thinking of facials and all that industry are going to suffer an awful lot because people won't, they'll say, no, I'm not going to now. And I would have always had said before, with the change of the seasons, go for a facial because your therapist will tell you go in every 4 weeks for a facial. And I always thought that even back in the good old boom, nobody was going to do that.
Nobody has the time.
The time even, not to mind the money on top of it. So I would say, even still, try to, there's nothing going to beat a facial that you, somebody else doing the massaging, the exfoliation, the expertise, the technique is just second to none. So even coming up to those occasions, 4 weeks before you have an occasion, and I'm not going to you have that many, between here and Christmas, that one facial this time of year, I think is a really important kind of that November facial makes your skin just glow for Christmas. And I think you can, that's okay. And after that, your good skincare and making sure that you're using the right products for your skin. Because I think one of the biggest thing we all have is that we have so many products, but we don't use them, or they may not use them in the correct order or have the right products for our skin. So going and having a good consultation, finding out what the products are for you. And even it could be just, I know now not having 20 or 30 products, but maybe tweaking what your skincare routine is to add one thing to address an issue you have with the skin at the moment will keep you longer having in between your facials.
Yeah.
So that could work.
So, if you have a birthday or a Christmas coming up, get yourself a voucher from somebody, ask your family to all throw in a few bob and you'll be able to afford your facial that way.
And even having a good skincare routine at in the evening time, do your double cleanse, use your serums, use your moisturiser. And there's such a variety of products that aren't going to break the bank at the moment. CeraVe here in front of me has brought out a retinol serum, and they are such a good brand, and they're money-wise, they're really good. And a retinol is a great way for oily skin or for dry skin. For oily skin, it's going to help with the any breakouts, and for anybody older, it's going to help with the fine lines. And adding something like that into your skincare can make such a difference. So it's about choosing your products right, but still go for that. Even if you were to go twice a year, go for your facial.
Go for your facial. Ed Sheeran has gone into the beauty industry.
He's gone into the beauty industry. Yeah, we might have to do an interview with him. Yeah, so he's bringing out his own SPF.
Sun cream, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll have it on our shelves very, very soon.
For people with red hair
and sensitive skin, and he wants it to be like a factor 70, so I don't know how that's going to work out.
Factor 70.
Factor 70, yeah.
For people, well, I suppose to be serious, red-haired people do burn very easily.
Yeah.
So there's method in his madness.
Absolutely, and I suppose he's speaking out for all the his fellow people and for anybody with sensitive skin. It's a real Celtic, that freckles, red hair, and any of us with freckles that go out in the sun and just turn like an Oompa Loompa. So that's he's going to come into the whole skincare industry. God knows what he'll bring out next.
Yeah, so you could be into us next month now with the whole range of Ed Sheeran things. Listener says, could Mary give advice on what skincare to use for a 13-year-old girl who has good skin and no acne? And could she also recommend a perfume for a teenage girl?
Right. So what I would definitely say with the skincare, I would go with, and I've recommended this to so many people, and so many people have come back to me and said it worked a treat for somebody who doesn't have just kind of getting them into kind of cleanse, tone and moisturise. And then do a lovely kind of teenage range, which is called the Cleanse range. So it's really gentle, because then it's all about being very soft to the skin. And the Cleanse range will just help that extra production of oil in the teenage years, and it will just keep everything nice and kind of flowing along nicely without kind of stripping the natural barrier in the skin. Has a lovely moisturiser, lovely toner, and it gets them into the routine of do this every morning, do this every evening, and your skin will stay well. And as it comes from fragrances from a house of teenagers that I have, definitely with fragrances, it definitely is down to whatever music they're into. Because like we were saying, Ed Sheeran bringing out the aftershave, every singer has now got a fragrance out as well. So it really depends on who they were into.
Yeah, and I remember a bottle of Ariana Grande perfume was bought in our house for our pre-teen last Christmas. A listener says, can Mary recommend a good neck tightening cream?
Right, so there's some fabulous neck ones at the moment, because again, you see, I'm going to become very interested in all these other places that are not kind of doing what they're supposed to be doing at the moment. Shiseido have a very good neck cream, and one of the ones I've been using at the moment is Clarins. They do a whole area of kind of that neck and chest area that you can apply. My advice would be is to strip off in the evening and get kind of from the shoulders on to apply that neck cream, because all those muscles are connected and you want everything to be lovely and strong.
So Shiseido
and Clarins, there's two lovely neck ones. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's come to the Aladdin's Cave segment. Newbies, lots of new stuff out. Do I see Yonka there? A particular favourite of my own.
Yes. So for the lady who was saying about doing facials at home, Yonka, I suppose it's the fragrance of Yonka always reminds me of actually having a treatment. And I can't tell you the last time I had a Yonka facial. Definitely has been years. But their fragrances in their skincare to match their facials always remind me like I'm doing a treatment at home. So it does feel like you're doing your own facial, because the smells, and we were talking about the fragrance, everything in it smells like you'd go for a salon treatment. But they're actually 30 years in Ireland, so they have loads of kind of specials out because they're actually 30 years in Ireland, and they're very much connected to Castle Island. So how they came to Ireland is husband and wife were travelling over and back to France. The owner was an air hostess, and when she went to France, she always bought her Yonka because she loved the fragrance and loved the skincare. And when she came back to Ireland, they set up a business to bring Yonka into Ireland because it wasn't here. So it's a lovely story, and they have all connections with Castle Island, and they've done so well. 30 years of Yonka in Ireland, and they've done great. And one of their ranges go from the teenage range up onto right out there. They have an excellence range, which I'm obsessed with. They have an excellent serum and their moisturiser, and it's like Batman and Robin. So if you know somebody who really wants excellent skincare for Christmas, for your mums, grandmothers, the excellence range in Yonka I give it 10 out of 10.
Did you say, or did you allude to they've a perfume out, no? Or
no,
it's just the smell?
The smells of everything that they have, like their toner, and everything is so pretty what they do. They have little butterflies over everything at the moment. It is just like you spray that toner and it's just like you're having a facial.
Yeah.
And everything is so good in the range, and it's like there's a gommage, which it's like an exfoliant. And what's lovely as well is if you are using the products and then you go for your facial, it's lovely to combine the two together.
Listener says, can Mary recommend a subtle foundation for combination skin? This person says, I haven't worn makeup for years.
Okay, well, myself and Derek are both like the It Cosmetics.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd actually use the It Cosmetics every day because I like it. It's natural. It's not too much. And then I will use a different one if I'm going out, which is rare. But definitely by daytime, it's It Cosmetics. And if you're not like a fan of you wearing a real heavy foundation, the It Cosmetics is amazing.
It is. I wear that as well. And
yeah.
I recommend that too. And it's you can get lovely under eye concealers.
Oh, yeah.
Well.
Bye-bye under eye.
Bye-bye under eye, yeah. So try, just to say to that lady, a little bit of it goes a long way. Apply it with a brush. The girls on the IT cosmetics counter in CH will be
absolutely
very helpful.
They're
there.
So lovely, and their brushes are brilliant as well. We talked about their brushes, and their mascara is brilliant. But for foundation, definitely is one I would recommend for day to day.
Now you've a couple of, dare I say, Christmas gift sets in already. There are people listening who will already be doing their Christmas shopping.
Absolutely, and because of we're all kind of watching where the money is going. When you do buy the gifts, you'll always get extra. So it's like the advent calendars, you'll always get extra bits in those as well. And at Christmas time now, is if you know somebody who's into something, you'll always get extra an extra product thrown into the box for, for less money, which is always good. So we had the skin ingredients is in front of me, and it's called the Rockstar's Key Tour. So the skin ingredients, which I turn this way. Okay, it's here. So the skin ingredients is from Jennifer Rock. So Jennifer Rock is known as the skin nerd even in the Irish beauty industry. So Jennifer is she knows everything about skincare, and she's brought out her own products, and they are absolutely amazing. And she, for all skin types, Jennifer has a product that will match your skin. So this is Jennifer Rock's one.
Okay, that looks lovely.
So the It Cosmetics have a lovely one here as well. So they also have a fabulous, if anybody's looking for retinol, but they find their skin is very sensitive, they have a lovely retinol in it as well. So your vitamin C and your retinol are your two actives that you should try to add into your skin as you get older. And the retinol in this is really good as well. So that's the It Cosmetics. We have Dermalogica, have some really lovely ranges out now. I'm a huge fan of Dermalogica because I had Dermalogica when I had my salon, and I love their products. What I like about Dermalogica, they're always, all the salons that they have in Kerry, they're constantly training and retraining the girls, so they're always up on top of their game when it comes to skincare. But they have some lovely gift sets for Christmas, which again, if you whatever's in the gift set, you'll always get something extra free. Their daily micro exfoliant is kind of a one that you can use for whether your skin is oily or whether your skin is dry. If you're looking for a skincare for somebody and you don't really know what their skin is like, Dermalogica is a kind of a safe bet to go for.
Okay, Mary, just before we let you go, because we're out of time, is there any nice new perfumes out?
Oh yeah, we were looking at this earlier. The Marc Jacobs, isn't this gorgeous? This is the Marc Jacobs
lovely presentation box. Marc Jacobs always have beautiful perfume bottles. Yeah. They're like little ornaments in themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if your bedroom was lovely and tidy and you had it up on the dressing table and you could take loads of photographs. But yeah, that would be absolutely gorgeous.
So is that a new perfume?
That's a new one, Jacobs? Yeah, a new one. And I haven't seen that bottle before. It's gorgeous. Giorgio Armani. We have, oh my God, we have so many. We've Boss. So all different price ranges. There's all the gift sets are all starting to come in now.
Okay, so very busy indeed. Listener was on to say, oh yes, any makeup advent calendars for a 15-year-old?
Oh yes, Makeup Revolution have a fabulous one out at the moment, and it has everything. It has their lipsticks, it has all your bits, and they're really good prices as well. And I know that we've one of the questions I'd say every time someone's always looking for a good eye cream. Ella and Joe have brought out, Ella and Joe are an Irish company, and they've brought out a new eye cream as well, and it is really good for anybody who's looking for to kind of depuff the eyes or for dark circles. It does both, and that's very unusual to find both. And for the lady who was looking for the teenager, there's a new Dermalogica peel as well. So can any teenagers that just want to kind of have a very gentle peel, it can be used for all sensitive skin types, but that's brand new as well.
Listener says, this isn't necessarily beauty related, but this person says that Ed Sheeran has a contract with Heinz tomato ketchup and has a tattoo of a bottle on his arm. Check it out, Deirdre. I think I saw that tattoo, actually.
I think I did as well. We should probably have the suntan lotion on the other side now.
Well, this is it. Now, we're in trouble. Someone says, I'm just wondering what Mary finds so funny about Ed Sheeran bringing out sun care products. Skin cancer is the number one killer in Ireland, and sunscreen isn't just for people with red hair or those who have freckles. Mary wasn't making a joke about sun cream at all.
Oh, no.
I think if anything, we were just kind of laughing at the fact that Ed Sheeran, of all people, to go into the cosmetic industry.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
why we were laughing at it. To be fair now, nobody talks about skin protection and the need to wear SPF more than Mary O'Donnell, as I well know. And you have me wearing SPF all year round now under my makeup. So you've at least one person saved there. So thank you to that person for that. We weren't making light of it. We were just surprised that Ed Sheeran, with all his money and his talent, has gone into that area of the beauty industry. Mary, we're going to have to let you go, but thank you for talking to us. And of course, a lot of those fabulous gift sets for Christmas, they'll sell out quickly.
They do. Get
once your Christmas shopping. Yeah, they're gone. Exactly. As someone famously said. Thanks a million to Mary.